Welcome to week 6 of the CRL podcast. My name's Austin Coop. These are my guys, Caleb Smith, Ricky Harden, and like we've been doing every week, we're just gonna not like kind of BS into it. We're just gonna go into it, all right? So let's start talk about the trucks. Guys, I had a good time at the very end of this race. You two didn't. In fact, you two had some fun together, didn't you?
Yeah, I I kind of got into Ricky. To be fair, I was in there, so
Yeah.
I could not see what was happening in front of him, because I was like pushing him, uh, and yeah, I seen Altus spin to the low side, and I just nailed Ricky, and that made Ricky's car unbelievably loose.
The
Uh,
backstory on that, and everybody that was in the race knows this. If you got any back end damage at Charlotte, it was atrocious what it did to the truck, and that happened to me early in the race. Somebody got into the back, and I just dropped like a rock after that, and I got it fixed, and it drove fine after that. And I was only upset, and it wasn't Caleb's fault. Let's be very clear. We had to check up very hard.
yeah,
Caleb would have had to be on his toes to stop it. And he wasn't able to. It got a little bit of damage. I didn't know what the damage was like. So when we went green on the green white checkered, I found out. That's the story.
There's two things. So let's kind of like roll everyone into it because I just kind of like rolled us right into it. So late restarts. I'm in the lead based on pit strategy. These two guys, they're all in the top. We're all in the top 10. Which I had made comment to you, Ricky, like, oh, this would be fun to talk about at the podcast. Little did I know there would be a lot of drama on it as well. And man, it was just what the two things I take away from what you guys were talking about is just this is 2 weeks in a row we've had some restart issues. The start of the race, the massive checkup. I heard it in my ear, but I couldn't see it. I didn't know how strong the checkup was going to be, and by the time I could see it, I was destroying the 19, um, which he did just fine after that. But then we had issues on the green white checkers as well. Just something that just is hopefully we can clean it up for the next week. I mean, it is Dover, and that's a track that also tends to have some restart issues for other reasons. But hopefully we can give some more space between each other on the restarts. But you were talking about the damage, and man, it's been a real problem the last few weeks. And I don't know what they did. I haven't. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't noticed the truck damage model being um, this tough to deal
Sensitive
with.
in weird situations, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't. It's odd.
yeah, I dealt with it at the fairgrounds. You dealt with it at the fairgrounds, Ricky, and then you dealt with it again. I mean, Lane, I think. No, not Lane. Evan Kinney dealt with it during the race too. I mean, it's
Oh, I'm sure it was
crazy.
way more than just us. There's
I
probably a
know.
long list of people that dealt with it. But I
Yeah.
was only so mad because I was in the perfect position to win the race.
Hmm.
I stopped. You stayed out. We were split. I was right in front of you. Came down pit road. Bolted four tires on it. We had the extra green white checkered, and I'm far and away the furthest up on tires and ready to win the race. And I go down into three and find out that I can't hang on to it. And the aero situation was already bad enough, but I stepped on it and finished in the back. So that's what we have to show.
Yeah, and I think it's important to kind of start staging this conversation on how we got to the end here. We had a lot, we had a lot of cautions for Charlotte, but in a conversation we'll kind of get into later is that everyone's good here. Let's face facts. Everyone's won a race here. Everyone has done it. I mean, if you haven't, I don't know, you got second a lot or something. I don't know. Everyone's won here. Everyone's won something that they really were proud of, and so everyone's got a little bit of their chip on their shoulder when it comes to Charlotte. I mean, I'm no exception. Caleb, you're probably no exception. Ricky, you're probably no exception. All of us want to win here, and it's home track for you guys too. So like, you guys got some extra little bit of weight to win here. Um, but staging the end, we had these green white checkers, we had these wrecks just from like some really aggressive driving, um, and a lot of side drafting. And I know the panel, the panel just said that like this close for hard racing wasn't really any fault, but man, like we were really close and we were not giving it any space. And this is like 2 weeks in a row. We kind of have had that. Well, in going into Dover, it's like, okay, like hopefully we don't see a trend happen, you know?
Situational awareness. That's what I call it. We have to have situational awareness early in the race in particular. Why are we not giving a little bit of extra room? Why are we not allowing for things like netcode and things like bumps and arrow to affect us? Everyone's being a little too aggressive, a little too early, and that's my opinion on this topic. Charlotte's a place that you just can't get away with it on a backstretch. And everybody thinks, oh, it's a mile and a half track. I can use the arrow to my advantage, and I know I should be up front. Everybody thinks they should be up front,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what you alluded to. And you find out that there's not a lot of margin for error. The bumps will get you. The arrow will get you.
When I look at all three of those incidences, it it made but almost everybody involved didn't finish good except for Ghost. He was the one who kind of got away with it, but his accident was on lap 7, so he had a lot of time to kind of uh to roll back up. Not that I'm saying it's anybody's fault. Like I think I want to be crystal clear. I think the league made the right decision by not penalizing anybody because it's just hard racing, right? I think the point you and I are trying to make is just that like it's really close racing, especially for that early on. I went into the wall one time because somebody was doing the same thing to me. I was like, I'm not risking getting turned at this point in the race, and I'm just gonna put myself in the wall, lose a few positions, and get back out there. I felt that was, uh, that to me was worth it. Um, Caleb, I know like you you weren't a part of that, but like, what's your take on that?
So with the whole side draft thing, I it all happened in the same spot going into 3.
Mm,
So the fact there was 3 separate incidents with the same exact, literally same exact scenario. The car on the inside is trying to side draft the car on the outside, slow them down going into 3. They hit a bump on the outside, they come down, wreck happens. Um, like to see it happen 3 separate times, it's like okay, it's very clear that the car on the outside is dealing with a bump, and the car on the inside is just trying to get as close as possible to slow them down. Um, so I mean, I guess this is our way of being like, hey, just kind of have, like you guys said, better situational awareness, um, especially late, or or just all around, I guess. Um, you can get close to a car, but to ride them that close, especially on a track that can get bumpy like Charlotte, just kind of give them a little bit more room so we don't have those incidents in the future.
yeah, I would say the one that made the most sense to me when it came down to Jordan and Grant, because it's we were literally in the closing laps. What that caution created the overtime finish for us, um, and so kind of that leading into the ramifications. Let's talk some honest facts. While I won the race, and that's awesome, and I did what I had to do to win, um, by staying out and trying no tires, no fuel, no nothing. I kind of got some gifts along the way. But
Good
someone who,
fortune.
yeah, I do sometimes have that happen, especially to this man particularly, Josh Altus.
Oof.
Um, I feel like we talked after the race and he's like, I don't know what is up with you, but you're like my kryptonite because Josh ran a fantastic race. And I said this in my interview, so I won't lay on it too big, but like Josh, I mean, he led most of the laps. He was up at the front. He was literally staring at a white flag being displayed out of 4. And that is really crushing. Now it's good for him is he's good enough to go win in another league like he did last night. He won. We're recording on a Saturday, by the way, not on a Thursday. He won last night in the Friday night ATC race at Richmond, and he's fantastic there. So he's gonna win, but he really wanted to win that one for the fact that it was a crown jewel race. And funny enough, I didn't know it was a crown jewel race. I didn't even know there was like a trophy involved in it at all. Like I'm in the interview room and I'm like, oh, this was fun. They're like, yeah, like nice job, nice crown jewel. I'm like, what? What's that about?
Well, he still came away with a 4th place finish, so at least he has something to show for it. And I'll tell you, I felt like on the green flag run, I had a perfect strategy. I came in a little later than him. I was making up a second a lap on him. I made it up to second place, and I stopped gaining. I he turned on the jets. He saved his tires. He did whatever he had to do correctly, and I could do nothing with him. And so I hated that he didn't get the win because he deserved it, but he still came away with a P4. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And some other finishes I think are notable is Caleb, you and your dad finished fifth and seventh. And I don't know if you two finished that close in a long time, especially you at the top five for you and a top 10 for him. I thought that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. He definitely would have had a better one. Had a
Yeah.
had a certain truck not run out of fuel on the low line. And on top of that, not called it out. Um, but yeah, I mean, he definitely would have at least had at least a good third had he been able to run the corner without a roadblock in the way. Um,
I thought he managed it
but
quite well, by the way. I mean,
oh
most
yeah, I
people
mean
would have
he did.
just spun the guy out. I would have spun him out.
Oh yeah,
But
most definitely, I would have too.
I'm
Um,
just blown away that your dad was able to just be like, this is what I can do. Like I was just tip my hat to him.
yeah, lead by example, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, I'm happy we were both able to get a top 10 with at Charlotte at least home track. Um, so that's pretty cool. First top 10 for him, I believe, this season.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um, I
He's had a
think
couple weeks off too, so like he's
yeah,
been doing well.
but yeah, I mean, super happy we were both able to do that at Charlotte. He couldn't advance his position further than seventh because he definitely had the tires at the end.
Yeah.
Had a clean truck, so um, hate that that happened, but happy we were both able to get the top 10.
Tell you this. Oh, let me rewind. Let me tell you someone else who had tires. Wow, like where did that come from? Jeremy Moore needed just another 200, 300 feet. He finished the second.
Yeah.
It's a good time to go over the results, and then we'll talk about Jeremy and Ghost because like
Whew.
one more lap and they would have won. One of them would have won. So I get the victory. Jeremy Moore gets second. Abram Ghostin gets third. Josh fourth. And Caleb, another top 10 and more importantly top five for you, dude. You're on a freaking roll this season. CVS he gets six. He's been doing really well the last couple weeks. Your dad, boss man Chris Smith seventh. Bradley Murphy finishes eighth. Will Bustler finishes ninth, and Sammy Harrell he finishes 10th. But Jeremy Moore, we talked about him. I think about the Daytona in the Daytona Road Course. He had a fantastic qualifying effort, and he's been around. He's had a much better season. He's kind of been one of the drivers I've been watching a lot recently. That's just incrementally getting better. I've been seeing him like really show up, especially at the end of the races.
Yeah, I mean, that's his second top 10 of the season. First top five of the season as well. Um, Currently sitting 21st in the points, uh, 46 back from the cut line. So he's still got a little bit to kind of keep, but the momentum from Charlotte race should keep Jeremy going,
Yeah,
hopefully to get him back into at least looking into the playoffs or the chase, whatever you would like to call it. Um, but yeah, that's where we're sitting there with him. But yeah, good run.
yeah. I think that him and a few other guys were able to be the beneficiaries of just this the craziness of the end of that race, and um, it's putting a big. I mean, I think this is a good time to go over the power rankings because the power rankings were really hard, really hard this week. You guys have them in front of you, I think. So I'm going to switch over to them. And for everyone who's listening to this, I do have iRacing running in the background. So if you hear the spotter by any chance, that that's why. But here's the power rankings. We've got Parker Collins back on top, Lane Hostler, Ross Tatum, Caleb. You are in the top five. You're number four. Evan Kinney's number five. Scott Simley number six. Joshua Altus number seven. CVS number 8, Matt Dyer. He did not show up last past week, so unfortunately he's moved down. And then myself, I put at number 10. Now, I'll just straight up tell everybody I didn't want to put myself on the list just because I'm not going to be on. Um, I'm not going to be on any more races. This was my last race until I had the baby, but you guys both told me I kind of had to, so I appreciate you guys. Um, but the biggest surprise, I think, well, maybe not surprise from what I talked with D Ricky, is that Trask isn't on there. What happened? I mean, he's my pick for the championship, and now he's not even in the top 10 on my points ranking or my on
Well,
my power rankings, and he's now in shoot. What place is he in now? He's in
11.
11th in points.
yeah,
Not out, but man, it's been
that's not what I
lousy.
expected. Not where
Not
I
at
would
all.
expect him to be. But I mean, there's been some circumstances that have put him there, and to be fair to him at Charlotte, what happened was not his fault. I mean, he was hit that bump, and they came together on the back straightaway, and he was looking at a top 3 or 4 when that happened. I think he was right behind me when it happened, so I think he was in third.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able
And
to pass him. Him and the 19 had better tires than me. I had more of my
yeah,
stuff up, so he was gonna get fourth place. You know.
yeah. So I mean, he would be a little higher up the list had he done that, and so.
Hmm.
That's racing. That's why we do the races.
Yeah, and I think something to contribute that to is he ran the 19 really hard. You know, the 19 did get around him. He could have conceded the position. He continued to run him hard, and when you run as hard as those two did, I mean, neither of them were given an inch. We were on the radio. They were not going to give each other an inch, and you know that's what happens when you run really hard against each other. But looking at this list, Caleb, we're going to talk about you, man. You've had an excellent start to the season, and you're fifth in points. I think the only thing I'm waiting on, I'm getting some stuff here in front of me. I should have had this kind of preloaded, but you've when's your win coming? When are you gonna get the dub, man? Like you're right there. You're right there. This is your first top 5 of the season, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, where's the dub
I well, I was kind of hoping it was going to be Monday night. Not gonna lie.
at?
I was I really wanted that one. Um, and I coming out of the pits on the final pit stop, I had half spun. I'd
I
saved it,
saw that.
but
It was a good
but yeah,
save.
but I lost a whole bunch of time. But I was still only I think like 5 seconds back from Altus after all that. So had I not done that, I feel like I would have. But the caution still came out, so I don't
Yeah.
think it would have mattered anyway. And then what happened between me and Ricky, it killed the front of the car. Um, I'm I'm hoping that that I get an oval win. That would make me happy. To kind of say I want a road course and an oval in this series. But I mean, I'll take Sonoma. I mean, if whenever we go there, I like Sonoma. I've won at Sonoma before in the series,
Yeah.
so I feel like that's the one I have circled. Um, Definitely what I had the most success at out of all the tracks on the schedule so far. Um, but I mean, I'm pretty decent at Dover too, so maybe something might happen at Dover. Probably not. But we'll shoot it for another top 10 at least.
I'll be watching on the couch. This will be the first week I get to have un uh, an unbiased opinion. I think finally, which will be nice to come in uh, in doing these podcasts with you guys. To I mean, I feel like I'm usually quite unbiased for the most part. If anything, I'm more hard on my guys that I'm in the chat with. Um, but let's go over the points. We're halfway through the season. We've been kind of putting this off. And I'm not going to go over the top guys. They're part of the power rankings. You know, we don't need to gloss over them. Although I will make a quick note if I can find my notes from. I made some notes for the power rankings, and I just wanted to read this off because last week's power rankings made this week's power rankings extremely difficult. So Lane was number 1 last week. He wrecked lap 1. Parker Collins wrecks himself. He was number 2 last week, but he still finished 12th somehow. Ross Tatum forgets tires on the last stop, green flag stop. Evan Kinney, he also crashed. Matt Dyer, he didn't show up. Scott Simley got wrecked, recovered to 14th. Caleb, you did your thing. You did well. CVS, scratched for top 10, was involved in I think half the accidents. He still got sixth place somehow. I don't know how it happened. Well, I think I know how it happened because he's a freaking bad man is what he is. Josh Altus should have won the race, didn't? I think, and then Jordan got wrecked on the penultimate scheduled lap. Like everyone in the top 10 had something happen to them, pretty much except for you. Well, no, I guess including you, Caleb, too. Like
Yeah.
something happened to everyone in that, and so this was like a crazy mix-up. I think it's our first like real shuffling of the deck. I think it's good if it happens in a more controlled way, but cautions do happen, and everyone loves this track. So I would like to look at, and I don't know if you guys have the point standings in front of you, but I'd like to look at the cut line right now. We've got Matt Dyer, who's tied with me for ninth, but he'll take over ninth at the very least. You just imagine I'm not there, I suppose. But he lost 6 spots. I mean, he was first in points for a number of weeks, and he's down to ninth. He's only 9 points to the good. Jordan, he was third 3 weeks ago in points. He's now all the way down to 11th. And then Ghost will probably just hang around the hotline for the rest of his existence. This is what Ghost does in every league he's in. And we got Bustler, Judson Curtis that are on the outside. Ricky, you're in 15th. You're about 15th behind. All of you guys could be in or out on any given week.
Yep. Yeah, I think I've had a lot of bad luck, and Judson is right there with me. Judson is very similar. Judson's had really good speed this season, and he has not a lot of finishes to show for it. So I expect to see them rising. Will Butler missed a race, so that kind of set him a little bit behind the eight ball. So there's a lot of guys on the outside looking in that. Let's not forget Jacob Grant. He's not
Yes.
that far out, and he missed 2 races, so he's coming.
He's the guy that I have on the outside of the power rankings, uh, and for good reason. Jacob is in a very good. I mean, if he finished top three, he would probably be on it. I think. Um, Realistically, he's on a roll. He won his first race in a long time. Shows up to Charlotte, and does and really, he probably should have had a top five. If him and Jordan don't get together, they probably get a top five. They both get top five. Um, really good points day for both of them. And then he goes and wins the Charlotte race on Wednesday, which we'll get to in a second. Like, dude's on a tear. He's definitely the one to watch, I think, right now on the outside coming in. Because if he wins a race or two, he's suddenly a threat for the championship. And the dude's got bad fast speed. You just won't be able to talk with him in the race anymore.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Not
Jacob
really.
Grant. It's not.
Not
Yeah.
really.
Listen,
Not breaking.
I've been here for a year and a quarter, maybe a year and a half. This is indeed the second time Mr. Grant has had his chat revoked for the rest of the season. And you know what? This is the way I don't have my chat button bound. I think I told you this a few weeks ago, Ricky. I don't have it bound. Uh,
Yeah.
it's just things are gonna fly out of my mouth. So,
Oh,
um,
I'm the same way. I have mine bound, and sometimes I key up, and I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done
yeah,
that.
that's the difference
I've
between you and me is that you won't say it. Sometimes I will. And the thing is, I feel like I'm a Ryan Blaney. Like I'm like, you guys have talked with me outside the
The
racetrack.
button is your
And
therapist.
yeah, and I'm like, after the race, I'm like, dude, that was fun. Like I got crashed. Like at the end of the Charlotte race, I was like, dude, I got crashed out, but I crashed the whole field, but I had a lot of fun. And like I don't know. That's just who I am. But maybe Joey Logano is a better way of putting it because it seems like Joey Logano is a little bit more two-faced, and I think that's probably more me.
I've found that Jacob does better when he shuts the hell up and just focuses on the racing. And that's best friend talk right there.
You're the only one who can
That's
say that. I can't say that.
yeah, that's brotherly love.
Well, that's
Yeah, no,
scary. You saying that's scary. If he's not going to have his voice chat, then he's going to be focused, is what you're telling us.
he won Wednesday.
Yeah,
He didn't,
but
he didn't have it.
he didn't have it on Wednesday.
He shouldn't have. I got wrecked and went to bed, so like
My God, he's not going to have it Monday. We know that.
yeah, no, definitely not gonna have it Monday.
Penalty report came out, I think, either that night or the next day, so he may have had it, but maybe he. I mean, I think this is a good segue into the ARCA series because this Jacob won, and Jacob was really fast all night, but Jacob kind of got into a big wreck that I caused, a really big wreck that I caused, and it took out, I think, half the field. I was on top of you for a bit. I was like, I think I was on.
Whoa.
Hold on. Context.
Hey yo.
Hey,
Okay.
yo.
So this is a good opportunity to also apologize to Bud. So, anyways, Ricky, I don't think you saw the wreck, so I'll describe it to you. It's Atlanta on steroids. We're on top of each other like crazy, and I felt like I had saved my tires. So I'm like, all right, there's the first two guys are kind of stonewalling the field. We're gonna bunch up. We're gonna wreck anyways. So my shot is to go on the outside of the tri-oval. Obviously, not the best place to go, but there's nowhere else to go. At least that's how I felt. So I get to the outside, but on the way to the outside, I barely touch Bud. I barely clip him. He gets a little wiggly and then drifts up. Bud gets catapulted to the infield upside down. I get shoved into the fence. Caleb goes right underneath me and drags me across the fence until we're out of the quad oval. I tumble and just wrecked. Anyways, that's the description of the wreck.
First thing I have to say, shout out Joe Spinelli, first mention of him tonight. Please send that entire segment that we just did to NASCOM and let him analyze that. And great description of the wreck, by the way.
What is NASCOM? What is NASCOM?
Oh, you don't know?
Maybe you have to ask. You're just gonna have to review this later.
All right, so basically, it's an Instagram account. Basically, they take all the sus commentary from NASCAR, and if it's anything sexual, they turn it into content for.
If it could double as innuendo, guess what?
It's like the Aikman one. He's like, he's trying to just come, but then he just pulls out. It's,
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You're giving him more content.
I just want to make sure we're talking about the same kind of content.
Yes.
Gosh, that was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't drink anything. But anyways, all of that to say that Jacob was in that wreck, and he didn't have a rear bumper. And he comes down pit road. I go into chat, and I'm like, hey, man, I think you even heard this, Caleb. I was like, hey, tail between my legs. Hey, sorry you guys got in the wreck. My bad. Just trying to go for the win. Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, I could probably win this if I just get some of the damage fixed. I'm like, okay, whatever. That sounds like everybody. But then he did it. And I was like, okay. He was pretty calm for that too, by the way. So I thought that was pretty cool. But then the pass for the win. I think that's kind of like the crux of this story with the ARCA series is we had Harrell and Gaston. Gaston looked like he had a pretty good shot at winning, but then again, the draft out of turn two, Gaston didn't have, I think, the best exit, and so Harrell had an incredible run, and he decided to take every little bit of that, went to the apron, shot Gaston up the track, didn't give him a chance to come down the track, and in comes Grant to sweep down the bottom and take over. This is, I think, an opportunity for us to talk about aggressive driving because inherently he didn't wreck him, right? We both watched this beforehand because I wanted us to kind of have an unbridled look at it, but it does kind of put the clean racing league into question if we're going to be running like that for a win. So I just kind of putting the question to you guys, what do we think about that, and then the 3 wide for the win? I mean, that was pretty cool. At least still seeing 3 wide at the white flag.
So in no way are we saying you can't go for the win. That
Of
is,
course, yeah.
we just want to go ahead and say that right now. However, there was he went from the apron, halfway on the apron, and then shot it up to almost the top line to where Gaston was in the wall. If your line is bottom of the track to the wall and there's a car there, you've run that thing too deep, Charlotte. Um, so um, I don't think he was gonna make the corner. I mean, he made it stick, but I mean, if Gaston went in to the corner like he wanted to arc down, like they probably would have wrecked. So um, that allowed Jacob to come in, like you said. He ended up winning. I know they had gotten all like into each other coming off two on the final lap, and then Gaston wrecked. Um,
That one felt like more of
so
a racing deal. Personally, I didn't think there
yeah,
was any major issues with that.
I well, they were also three wide.
Yeah,
So
what are you gonna do?
um, yeah, I mean that's I just feel like if you're gonna go into the corner, I mean just make sure you can make it before you. I mean, yeah, he made it, but like kind of overdrove it a little bit, and then that kind of allowed Jacob to win that race, because in no way should he have won that race. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
I mean, let's so um, feel like had he taken his time going into the corner, sized up Gaston, Jacob wouldn't have been able to really do anything. Jacob would have tried to make a move, but Jacob didn't have a rear end.
yeah.
So I mean, it's which you know I feel like the ARCA car handled, or the truck handled like the ARCA car without a rear bumper. Ricky would have won on Monday.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
True.
but yeah, I mean that's just my whole thing. I mean, kind of just overdriving the corners and then kind of I wouldn't say ruining the race. I mean, it was three wide, but he was on the apron, man.
Yeah,
He
I'm
was
with
on
you.
the apron.
If you're gonna make an aggressive move for the win, you got to make sure it's gonna stick. And I'm all for somebody making a late move on somebody, but you've got to try your best to make the corner. And there's a lot of nuance there because sometimes somebody runs you out of room on the corner entry because they're being very defensive. And if your nose is already there, of course you're gonna be a little bit more aggressive than you may have been otherwise. So there may have been some of that there. He felt like he was already there. I was hard. Honestly, the angle was really hard to tell on the broadcast, and I wasn't there to see any others. But you have to. If you feel like your nose is there, you still have to make the corner. Like
Yeah.
he really didn't. He went all the way up, and it was just. I'm sure he wasn't trying to do that, and he just overcooked it and didn't anticipate it being that bad.
This is probably what happened, and only he knows, is that before they got to the corner, he was committed to doing that move. And you know what? I give him props for like just going for it. But once they make contact, I think you just got to get off him, right? I think that's my only thing is he got into him, and that's hard racing in my opinion. If he got into him and then lunged on the brakes a little bit, let him go, got it, go, went to give him another shot. Because I race really hard, Caleb. You know this. I race really hard against my competitors every single week, and nothing like this would change the way I race. Like if someone did that to me, it wouldn't change the way I race them because I'm racing them, at least in my opinion, as hard as I can every time. However, this I think is really important for any. I mean, I think this is his fifth race, fifth or sixth race in our league, and I think those are really important things to think about. Because now you've set a precedent with how everyone's going to race you. I'm not there to race in the ARCA series going forward until I'm back from my baby leave. Um, and so, but you have to think everyone saw that move in that race, and that guy also runs on Monday nights now too. People inventory that kind of stuff, not because it happened to them, but because it could happen to them. And so, I don't have a problem with it with regressive driving like you guys were talking about. But I see that on the outside, and I'm like, "Ooh, like that that's a move that's gonna turn some heads a little bit." And so, not I think I want everybody who's new to have a good retrospect because Harrell is fast. He's fast. He's just and I'm just calling a spade because I think I like the guy outside of the racetrack too. He's just doesn't have the refinement quite yet on like when to make those moves, of course. But like, dude's gonna be fast. He could possibly go for the championship actually in the ARCA series. In fact, if I look at the standings, I think he's doing pretty well. Like it's just knowing when to pick those battles and such. And he still finished second, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he still finished second. So like he got a good finish, but I mean, where did Gaston finish? Gaston finished 14th. So
Oof.
those are just things you have to like really make. You're not going to deal with the ramifications right then. But you might deal with it later when it matters more, especially when we have playoffs to go. So that's my only thing. I think that the ARCA series is the perfect place to make these moves and know if you can or can't make it. I don't know how long he's been in the service. Maybe he's been on for 3 months and he's or you came from somewhere else. Like um, that's what we have this series is to give the grace. But like you know, I just think that the move was premeditated. He went in there thinking dollar signs, checker flag. I'm going for it. And you know what? That's why we race sometimes too. If you no longer go for a gap, what's the quote? Come on, someone finish the quote for me.
You're no
You're no
longer
longer
a
racing.
racing driver.
Yeah, because
There
that's
we
how
go.
that's and so then because that's how I got in my wreck, is I went for a gap that I thought existed. So, um, wow, I'm done with all my notes. We gonna talk about the whiskey thing we were talking about earlier, or what? No,
I mean, I
before
already finished my whiskey. What are you talking about?
all of it, all of it.
There's more in here.
Before we get into any other antics, because I think I was curious. I don't know where we were going with that before we started the podcast, but I just want to thank Ghost Athletics, Grant Creative, Savage Sim Raps, and SimFits before we get stupid here. Okay, um, that's probably why everyone's joining. They're like, all right, let's either stop talking about racing and like talk about something stupid like ducks or something.
Ducks.
Ducks.
Like,
I don't
who
know.
the
I got a kid, and he plays with he got little baby ducks and
Yeah, my kids have an entire playroom full of ducks. So there is that.
so okay. They
Speaking of
just
them, the kids, say
oh
hi. Look, what do you have in
hello.
your hand? That is on cue. This is on cue. I couldn't have planned this. That's hilarious. You have no idea.
The best
For
episode
for the
ever.
listeners with no video, my son just walked in the door with a duck in his hand.
It looks like
I
it's
have no
open.
idea why, but wow.
We could call it a wrap right
it,
there, boys. Like, oh my god.
We're
wait,
not gonna beat that.
he, was he just on the other side of the door listening? He's like, this is my cue. Like I
Yes.
I got my fucking duck right here. When's he gonna say the
Oh
cue? When's he
man.
gonna say it?
It
Oh
was
man.
such a random. I had no idea why you said ducks, and then he must have heard me. I don't know.
Maybe he
That's
was like walking
hilarious.
by, heard us talk about ducks, and he's like, "Oh my god!" Or I don't know.
This is my
He
chance.
bought that one at Five Below today. Shout
He
out
bought
Five Below.
he bought it today.
Today.
Okay, this is weird. This is getting really strange. Wow.
You brought it up.
Do you have
Dude,
ESP?
gosh, maybe someone's got some flock cameras or something.
Oh,
Here we go.
Let's
Here we
not get into
go.
that.
So the reason I thought about ducks was because I told you guys on Thursday my son was in the bathtub and fell and whatever. But I got so many ducks from a work event in January of this year before they laid me off, by the way. But I got like 40 ducks, and they all got different things. Like one's like aviator duck. He's got the hat and like the suit and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then like I got a beach duck. He's like got a tan. He's orange instead of yellow. And I don't know. I just was thinking about it because they kept giving me. They're like, "Oh, you have a kid. Like you should have them." And then I came home with like 40 of them.
Yeah, my kids collect them, so that's really funny.
Do
Yours
you have a,
will probably do that for a long time.
do you have a Jeep?
I do not.
Thank
I
No,
was about to
goodness.
ask the same thing.
no. But my kids actually will bring them with us when we go places, and they'll put them on Jeeps because they think it's fun.
Yeah, I think so. I know a little bit about that because I have a Subaru, and I got an email after I, yeah, this is happening by the way. If for online people who don't have a video, it's Black Velvet whiskey. Um, so they sent me an email from Subaru after I bought it, and they there's the product plug right there. There's the product plugs. um, they sent me an email that said Subaru Moo, and it was for cows. They wanted to have little cows instead of the ducks, so they could like have their own inclusive looking thing. And let me tell you,
Oh,
I've never seen a cow inside a Subaru my whole life.
I
It
thought
was
that the Subaru thing was a dog thing. All their commercials are dogs driving Subarus, right?
dogs and yeah.
Like that's their thing. Is they're in
You
their
want to start
advertising.
yelling?
It's pet friendly and stuff, right?
Caleb, Caleb, Caleb
What did
caught
you
on.
say, Caleb?
Caleb caught it.
Uh,
Caleb caught it.
he, I know exactly what he wants to say, but we have to stay on track here. We can't be making those jokes.
I
We
don't
can't be
know.
making those jokes.
It's not really
My
a
my
joke. It's
friend my friend drives a Subaru. I mean, she's
uh, oh, we're profiling now. We're starting to
no,
profile
no.
here a
I'm
little
just
bit.
I'm just saying. I mean, it checks out.
It checks out. Okay. It's but yes,
Okay.
dogs. But the dogs, sure. Let's say dogs. As I with
Speaking of cows, my wife says I have to buy her a cow. This is
Like a
another
whole one,
topic in my household.
um,
She wants
like
a
a whole
cow,
one.
and she wants a Highland cow. They're very popular with the ladies. So
gosh, wait till I'm done.
What do you mean they're popular with the ladies?
they like the Highland cows. Okay, the decor downstairs, it's Highland cow decor, and she wants us to buy a Highland cow. So that is my life's goal now, is to buy a Highland cow and keep it in a barn.
Keep
I
it.
guess It's not to come into my house.
Uh,
No.
She might
dear
think it
Lord,
is.
no, no, no. Cows.
Where would it go?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have the space? Do you have a barn? You're gonna have to
My in-laws
feed
have a
that
barn.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could not.
There's a lot of questions to be answered. I have questions.
I have questions. I don't
I'm,
have
I'm sure there are
answers.
other husbands that can relate to this, that their wives insist on getting a cow, but
Or a dog.
that's mine.
Like, oh, honey, can we have a dog? And it's like,
That's a little more reasonable.
it's reasonable, but at least for me, it's like, I mean, if I have another kid, like, you don't want to put a dog on top of that? Like, Now, thank the Lord that like my wife's not asking for it at the moment, but believe me, another year, probably.
Dogs are great. I
I,
mean,
Dogs are great.
it's
Look
hard.
at her. She's just laying
It's
there. She's
hard.
too cute.
It's hard to say no when they look cute. That's that yeah, I can't. Some dogs it just like melt my heart. I can't do anything about it.
I want to kidnap the dog from mom and dad's house.
Kidnap.
Um,
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah. hmm
Strong
Now,
language.
now,
aggressive.
I don't think it would be kidnapping because dad says just take her. But I yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how she'll be when she's alone because like I live by myself.
Mm.
I live in an apartment.
Mm.
If she's gonna whine and everything, I don't want it to be like a noise thing. But also, I don't know how she's gonna do. So I might have to do a test run one weekend, see how she acts, and then we might do the full on kidnapping. I don't know. I think
Please don't say that.
The full on kidnapping.
She's gonna get isolated and made into a soundboard. I just
I will say that out of all the things we've said so far on the show, I'm surprised that Joe or Jordan has not decided to make a soundboard, at least of one of the things we've said.
Oh, it's coming.
To
Oh,
and
I
that might be a soundboard right there. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that we have said that could be taken out of context, and I think I don't know. That'd be funny to like. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about hearing my own voice on a soundboard, especially when everyone has control of that. Feels like
you just gotta mute it.
yeah,
Let
but
let
what's
everyone else enjoy it, not you.
yeah, maybe potentially. We'll see. Ah.
I look, listen. I've heard Joe's the broadcaster's voice so many times on the soundboard to where like I just mute it. Just
Oh.
oh he's riding the rim job. What
Right.
the hell?
Have we mentioned this on every episode? I think we made.
You got to. You
About
got to. I mean
every other
It's never
episode,
going to
man.
die.
it's such an outlandish thing to say on like what do you why would that even be said?
Well, it's kind of like we talked last time. Sometimes you just you know you want to say rim ride, but then you get the Freudian slip because your
And
mind
slide job, rim ride, slide job. I see it.
slide rim job.
Well, we heard it. Like it's
That's what we're gonna call him from now on. There you go.
it's a it
And
is
on
a
that note,
it's a wombo.
It's a
and on
wombo
that note,
combo.
we're canceled. We'll see you never.
Yeah,
Oh no, we're not
we're
we're
close,
not canceled.
right?
We're good.
Well, we don't have enough viewership for being canceled, and
That's true.
I don't think we're quite yet popular enough to be part of cancel culture.
Yeah,
Cancel culture is
great.
so 2023, anyways. What are you talking about?
So what's this podcast going to look like in future weeks? Explain that to
Oh,
the viewers.
Oh
that
yeah, let's go into
that's a
that.
good. So it's funny you say that because I didn't tell Kyer we weren't showing up on Thursday, but then he didn't show up on Thursday, so I felt like it was just kind of understood, maybe, or maybe he forgot, or maybe I don't know, he just figured it out. But um, we're going to be transitioning to having a little bit more professional looking uh, video. More than likely, Kyra's got something pretty good cooked up. I won't be here probably after next week, so I'll probably have one more podcast in me, and then it's baby time. So after that, I don't know what it looks like, but I think Kyra's got something cooked up. He said he's done this before and he's really good at it. So, me and my very lackluster amount of knowledge to barely stitch this thing together, like Frankenstein. And believe me, if anyone saw what I'm actually doing to make this possible, it's Frankenstein. Um, but I'm thinking he's going to be able to do that. But one of my favorite things that you guys actually came up with is that Kyra's more than likely going to be able to have some, maybe either some race footage while we talk, or maybe he's going to be able to have some, like the power rankings be up on the screen at the same time while our faces are up. And so that'll give you guys the opportunity to react live to the power rankings, which are still going to be done by me, even though when I'm out. So I'll still be watching all the races and such, and that'll be fun. I'll just need to make sure I actually do the power rankings when I'm, giving a bottle to my baby or something like that. So
So while the video and production quality may look more professional, the dialogue will not be any more professional. Don't worry.
for
Unhuman.
better or for worse. Well,
When
I think it's gonna be looking good. Kyer literally works for a production company, so I have good expectations for it. I
I'm
think
excited to see it.
me too, man. Me too. Well, I think that's it for me, guys. Last thoughts for real this time?
There are not 20 more minutes after this.
No,
I can't
no.
I can't wait to turn left again. Um,
Dover next
I
time.
I thoroughly enjoy it. Um, it's
Did you see that Dover almost got hit by a tornado yesterday?
yeah, I did.
Wow.
It hit about half a mile from the track outside of.
Wow, I had no idea about that.
Yeah. So they posted that there was no damage at the facility, but prayers for the people of Dover, Delaware. I know that there was a lot of damage in the area near the track.
I didn't know that.
Anyway, that was just a side note to cross my mind.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that because I had no idea. I mean, I'm in the tornado central of the state, so it's crazy to hear tornadoes out there where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Where
We're
we're
in the
at.
Carolinas, dude. This
Well-
is Delaware we're talking about.
Well, so you realize the distance between me and you guys is like halfway across the country, right? Like I'm in the middle.
It feels like it's halfway across the country to get to Delaware from here too. So
I wouldn't know. I've never been there, so
Neither have I.
same.
I think that's a
Anyway.
wrap. I think this is a wrap. I'm gonna put my foot down. Like you guys say, if I'm not here, maybe you guys get a little out. I mean, I got a little outlandish today, I suppose. But anyways, thank you guys for hearing us idiots talk for about 50 minutes, and we're going on to Dover next week, and there probably will be a tornado on the track if I had to be guessing. So look forward to that. Stay tuned.
Joe Spinelli will be there. Don't worry.
Ouch, ouch. Well, I'm
What
gonna
a
get us the
guy.
black screen. The black screen's up, and y'all have a good rest of your night.